Naperville keeps showing up on every best place to live in America's list. But if you're about to drop 600 grand or more on a house here, you deserve to know if it actually lives up to the hype. Because most people relocating here assume Naperville is just one place. It's not. And if you don't know that, you might end up in a neighborhood you really don't love. A lifestyle that only sounds good on paper, regretting a $600,000 decision. I help families relocate to the western suburbs every day. And this is the breakdown I wish every buyer had before they even started looking. So today I'm breaking down the neighborhoods, the 2 school districts, and the real 2026 price points, so you know exactly what you're walking into. Let's start by showing you the neighborhood map of Naperville, because where you land determines almost everything else about your life here. Most people picture Naperville as one place, and it's really not. Naperville is essentially split into 4 zones, and the difference between them is bigger than what most people actually realize. Think of it like this. If Naperville were a pizza cut into quarters, each slice has its own personality and its own price tag, and possibly different school districts. You wouldn't order a pepperoni pizza and expect a Hawaiian slice, would you? So you better know which slice you're going to be walking into. Let's start with North Naperville. This is the older, more established side. Mature trees, established neighborhoods like Crest Creek, Saybrook, Indian Hill, and you're in District 203. You're close to downtown, and you're paying a premium for the character though. Walkability, and that highway access that is so coveted in a lot of Chicago suburbs. Now, Central Naperville, this is the downtown core and the neighborhoods that wrap around it, like Hobson West, the East and West Highlands. This is the quintessential Naperville people picture in their head. You can walk to downtown whenever you want, or maybe it's just a short 5-minute drive. But you are encompassed around Naperville, and that's kind of what everybody thinks Naperville is. Now, East Naperville, this is south of 75th and Washington. It is the furthest south and east you will be in Naperville, and it puts you closer to Woodridge, Bolingbrook, and you're closer to 55 and 355. Now, South Naperville, neighborhoods like White Eagle, Tallgrass, these neighborhoods are further down and further away from downtown Naperville, but they wrap around Route 59, which is a major road here. It is the home of Block 59 that they are creating, and it is everything along these streets that you're probably going to need for shopping, dining, or home repair. So here's how to figure out which slice is yours. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1, how often are you really going to go downtown? If you want to walk to dinner, then you need to be in Central. A short commute is okay, then look north, because it's basically right there, 5 minutes. Number 2, what home style do you want? Older charm with character means probably North Naperville. Even Central has some amazing homes with a very big price tag attached to them though. Modern open floor plans, estate-style homes mean South Naperville and its newer subdivisions probably fit you better. Number 3, what is your price point? The closer you get to downtown, the more expensive it gets, as it always does. One of the greatest things of this town is the size of it and the fact that you can buy something in a townhome or a condo between $200 to $500K, and a home you can go from $400,000 all the way up to $2 and $3 million. Your search is expansive if you need it to be. But here's what most people don't always realize. The neighborhood might determine the home style that you move into, but it will always determine the school districts your kids will go to if you have children. Many people who reach out are always looking at school districts comparing 203 versus 204. And some will even narrow it down to which schools in the district they prefer based on the national ratings they say. So here's a quick, simple breakdown for you. District 203, that's Naperville Central High School and Naperville North. It covers north and central parts of the city most of the time. It's older and more established, and highly sought after by people who are looking to relocate. You want to know something interesting? Kennedy Junior High was ranked the #1 public middle school in Illinois by niche.com. That's pretty impressive, actually. District 204 is Neuqua Valley, Matia Valley, and Waubonsie Valley. It covers south and southwest Naperville, parts of Aurora, plus portions of Plainfield and Bolingbrook too. Now compared with District 203, the schools are newer and the student populations are a little bit larger. Neuqua Valley is one of the highest rated public high schools in Illinois, and on niche.com, it just came outside the top 100 public high schools in the entire country. Here's my honest opinion. Both districts rank very high on niche.com and greatschools.org, but don't just take the ratings at face value. Look into the schools, look into the districts, the programs they offer, the boundaries, and figure out which one actually fits your lifestyle best. You see, my wife works across multiple buildings in one of these districts, and she loves it. So between having little kids myself and being married to someone in the education field, I feel like I have a slightly different angle of view than most people do. Now, schools are one of the biggest reasons families move here, but it's not the only reason. The other huge draw is, of course, downtown Naperville. And this is where I have to be really honest with you, because this is a question I get every single week. Is downtown Naperville actually worth it? Or is it overrated? But before we get into them, If you are thinking of relocating to Chicago or the suburbs, that's what I do every day. So reach out to me here or sign up for my weekly newsletter right here or in the link below. Here's the truth about downtown Naperville. It is hands down one of the best downtowns in the entire Chicago suburbs. The Riverwalk is genuinely beautiful. It's a 1.5 miles of brick paths along the DuPage River. Centennial Beach is a real beach in the middle of the suburbs, which is kind of cool. The restaurants and the boutiques on Jefferson and Washington, it actually feels like a downtown, not just a strip mall. But here's the part nobody on YouTube really tells you. Living downtown and visiting downtown are two completely different experiences. If you're visiting, 5 stars. Take the family on a Saturday walk, right in the Riverwalk, get some ice cream, perfect afternoon. But if you're living 3 blocks off Jefferson, you're probably paying close to $800,000 or more for a home, smaller than comparable homes in the South Naperville area. You're dealing with weekend traffic, event traffic, sometimes parking restrictions, and a food and beverage tax that's higher than the rest of the city, because downtown district actually has its own tax to fund the parking decks. Is it worth it? Well, it depends entirely on how you actually want to live. The family and I go there once in a while. We love the Riverwalk, the atmosphere is great, but it's not an every weekend thing, I promise you. So here's how to figure out if downtown actually makes sense for you. Answer 2 questions honestly. Number 1, how many times a month do you actually want to walk to a dinner? If your answer is once a month or less, you're paying a massive premium for an amenity you're probably barely going to use. Question 2, do you have kids? Because the families I see thriving downtown fall into 2 camps most of the time. Empty nesters who finally want the walkability after raising kids in the suburbs, and young couples without kids who want that lifestyle. Families in the middle, like myself, kids in elementary or middle school, usually do better a mile or 2 out, where they get the bigger yards, they can live in the cul-de-sac communities, and they can still drive downtown when they actually want it. My take, downtown Naperville is one of the best amenities in the western suburbs, but you necessarily don't have to live on top of it to really enjoy it. But here's the next thing you have to think about, because if you're moving here for the schools in the downtown, you're probably also commuting somewhere, right? You have to have a job. And that means you got to be near highways, which is part of Naperville that, depending on where you land, can either be your best friend or can absolutely ruin your morning. Now, Naperville sits at an intersection of 3 major routes, and your location inside Naperville is going to determine which one you're kind of living on. First, there's I-88, which is the east and west tollway. This is your road to downtown Chicago and the western corporate corridor. If you work in Oak Brook or Lisle or downtown Chicago, you probably want to be in North Naperville, where the highway's right there. Now, second, there's 355, which is your north and south tollway here. This connects you to places like Schaumburg to the north and I-80 to the south. If your spouse works in one direction and you work in the other, Central or North Naperville probably gives you a really good balance here, and it gives you access also to the east and west corridors. And then there's third. There's Route 59, the major north-south arterial, which is not a highway. It's a 6-lane service road. Feels like a highway though. It is the spine of South Naperville. If you live in White Eagle, Tallgrass, Ashbury, Route 59 is how you're going to get everywhere. And here's the thing, not everybody's going to tell you. Route 59 at 5 p.m. on a weekday, brutal. It's not Chicago brutal, but it's also not quiet either. Now plan accordingly. And while South Naperville has amazing homes, sometimes the traffic can kind of be annoying. So here's how to choose based on the commute. Step 1, figure out where you actually have to be in person each week, not your office address, where you physically show up. If you're hybrid 2 days a week, maybe you're downtown, your math is different than some of the daily commutes. Now step 2, drive your commute at the actual time you be driving it, or use Google Maps, not at 10 a.m. on a Saturday when there's no traffic or light traffic. You can take a drive Tuesday at 7:45, drive in both directions from the office, from home, back to the office, whatever you're going to do. You'll know in one trip whether it's a deal breaker or not, I promise you. Step 3, check the Metro. You see, Naperville has the BNSF train station to get you downtown Chicago in 40 minutes to an hour. For a lot of buyers, that train station is more valuable than the highway. Okay, so you know the neighborhoods, you know the schools, you thought through the downtown question I asked you, and you figured out about your commute. Now, another piece of the puzzle is one that everyone asks about first, but they probably should ask about last once they get that all figured out. But before we hop into that, if any of this has you thinking about the Chicago market, where to buy, what areas to watch, what to avoid, that's exactly what I'm here for. So reach out anytime or scan the QR code on screen to sign up for my weekly newsletter. I break down the market every week, cover local spots worth knowing about, and I keep you up to date on everything happening in the suburbs and Chicago. So what does your money actually buy you in Naperville in 2026? Well, As of spring of 2026, the median single-family home price in Naperville is sitting around $700,000. And that number only tells half the story. Because attached homes, townhomes, and condos, that runs closer to about $325,000. That's the thing about the city. The range is massive. Homes sell from the low 200s for a starter condo, up to $1 million or more in an estate in something like White Eagle, or even $2 million in areas like downtown. So instead of one median number, let me break this down to you in 4 realistic budget tiers that I see relocating buyers typically using. Tier 1, under $400,000. At this price point, you're looking at townhomes, condos, and the smallest single-family homes in older subdivisions. You're looking at places like Mill Crossing condos, Winchester Place, Windridge. You have a wide span of locations to choose from across the entire town. Tier 2, $400,000 to $600,000. This is a good entry for most relocating families. You're getting a real single-family home, 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage. This can be a smaller home, but you get to be in Naperville. And these homes are scattered all throughout the parts of town, which is going to be good for you. Tier 3, this is your $600,000 to $900,000 range. Now you're entering more variety, larger homes, some areas of tall grass, parts of Stillwater, even closing in on the downtown area. You're getting 2,000 or 4,000 square feet, depending. You got premium finishes most of the time, sometimes a 3-car garage, sometimes. A real master suite, and you're really going to have a great selection of locations. And you can choose from them without actually having to compromise much. Now, Tier 4, that's $900,000 and up. And this is luxury Naperville. Custom new builds, White Eagle, tall grass, trophy homes downtown on tree-lined streets. We're talking 4,000 to 7,000 square feet, custom finishes, high-end finishes, and what I really call the executive feeling. Now, one more thing to budget for is property taxes. See, Illinois property taxes are real, I promise you. Plan on roughly 2% of the home's value annually. So on a $600,000 home, it's about $12,000 a year or more. Build it into your monthly housing number from day one, because some people can kind of get sticker shocked by that. Obviously, the higher price point, the more taxes you're going to be paying. So do you think Naperville is overhyped? My honest answer? No. But that's a simplified answer, I'll be real. The long version, the schools, they're really good. The downtown really is cool, and it's nice. The neighborhoods do really deliver what they promise. But the version of Naperville that you end up depends entirely on what slice of that pizza you asked for. Here's the uncomfortable part, though. At $700,000 for the median single-family home price, Naperville is not cheap by any means. And the question I'd be asking, if Naperville is good, well, it obviously is. The question is, am I getting the most for my money, or am I paying a premium just for the name? Because there's a town about 20 minutes away that I genuinely believe competes with Naperville. Good rated schools, same kinds of neighborhoods, for hundreds of thousands of dollars less. It's called Lombard, and most people relocating have never even looked into it. So watch this next video and let me show you why Lombard goes toe-to-toe with Naperville for a fraction of the price. And you can decide for yourself if Naperville is still worth it, and I'll see you there.